Hello. Hi. Thank you for joining. We're just going to give a couple of minutes for some other people to come in. So if you're already ready and you've got a couple of cushions or something nice and soft nearby, and your mat's all set up or a towel, you can just lie down in a nice constructive rest pose. So coming down into your back, taking your feet as wide as your mat, letting the knees fold together so the lower back is nice and supported. And maybe just starting to come into your breathing, making it nice and deep while we wait for another couple of minutes. Two. Excuse me. Okay, I think we can get started. So, welcome to this evening's restorative yoga session and Dapwa. And today we'll be going through a nice, slow, gentle practice. We're focusing a lot on gratitude this evening. So, whether that's gratitude for something specific, or if that feels a little bit difficult right now, a little bit out of reach right now, could be as simple as gratitude for getting on your mat or on any comfortable surface and taking an hour for some restoration of the body and the mind. So maybe just picking out something that you're grateful for, can be just yourself. In fact, yourself is one of the biggest ones. And I'm very grateful for you being here. So picking something that can be something really small, just something that you really feel happy and thankful to have. And just letting that sense of gratitude maybe drift through our practice. We'll be taking a variety of poses, but we will be having some where we're almost able to curl up around our heart center, our heart space, and really look in and be really grateful to ourselves for coming into this moment and grateful for our bodies for allowing us to do what we're about to do. So just tapping into those moments during our class. But for now, we'll start in Shavasana, so our corpse pose. So coming to lie flat on your mat. Arms stretched out to your sides. Feet nice and wide, the toes falling out. Palms facing upwards. Letting the body be heavy. And we'll start just by doing a gentle scan of the body. Just encouraging every area as we pass it to gently relax, maybe if anything's holding. So we'll start at the bottoms, maybe wiggling the toes just to bring your awareness into that space. And then imagining the toes, the muscles in the feet relaxing. The muscles on the soles of the feet, moving up into the ankles, the calves, up past the knees into the thighs, feeling the glutes relax. Coming up to the torso, so the muscles of the belly, those core muscles that work hard to keep you moving. Just letting them relax and letting the belly be nice and soft. You can even bring your hands to the belly just to encourage that softness. Feeling the ribcage supported by the mat, so completely letting go, not trying to hold up, but pull yourself up. Shoulders melting down towards the mat, so almost imagine two palms just gently encouraging your shoulders to release down. Moving into the fingertips, so you can wiggle the fingers gently, and then letting them come to stillness. So letting the fingers curl naturally, feeling the palm relax, the forearms, the upper arms, the biceps and triceps. Coming up to the neck, so letting the neck be loose, not trying to hold the head in any particular position. Coming up to the jaw, maybe there's a little bit of clenching. Just encouraging the jaw to relax, maybe letting the tongue be loose, heavy in the mouth. The muscles around the eyes, the muscles of the cheeks. So almost feeling gravity pulling gently the skin down towards the ground. Coming all the way up to the forehead. And then just being aware of the whole body as we've scanned. Maybe feeling a bit more loose, a little bit more relaxed, a little heavier on the mat. And starting to deepen our breath. So you can bring the hand to the belly and the hand to the chest, just over your heart center. Starting to deepen the breath, so as you inhale, feeling the hand and the belly rising up as the lungs expand. You need to make a little bit more space in the torso. And as you exhale, feeling the chest fall and feeling the belly fall. As your belly button sinks down towards your spine, so slightly engaging there just to really empty out the lungs. Inhaling, letting the belly be soft as it expands. Exhaling, letting the belly release down, feeling the hands sinking down. Taking 5 more breaths at your own pace. If Shavasana feels a little bit uncomfortable, your lower back wants any more support, you can always bend the knees, come back to our constructive rest pose. The feet as wide as the mat, knees falling together, nice and supported for the back. Taking one more breath here. And slowly, if your eyes may be slipped closed, just letting eyes fall open so we begin to get a little bit of movement, gentle movement into our next pose. So you can make sure your props are somewhere nearby in case you need to grab them. So this posture is twisted roots, so a nice twist for the abdomen. Really good to massage the organs there. So we're going to cross our right leg over our left, just gently crossing the legs. And then from here, letting the legs fall over to your left side. So your left knee is going to be adding some extra pressure here, guiding both of your knees down to the mat. If this feels uncomfortable, and if your right shoulder is starting to roll up, you can always uncross the legs and just come into a gentle twist this way. And also you can always bring the ground up to you by adding a pillow underneath. I think I might do that today, just to keep the lower back happy and safe. So checking in that both of your shoulders are still pasted to the mat, just gently heavy against the mat. And if it feels good, you can take arms out to your side for some gentle opening of the arms. You can grab your elbows overhead if you've got a bit more space. For a little bit more opening of the upper body. Or just bringing hands to the belly, whatever feels good. Staying here for a couple of minutes. So taking advantage of the space restorative yoga gives us to really sit in a pose, to really let the body adjust, realize that this is a safe posture, and find more release. Maybe finding the posture a little bit easier as we hold here. With hands on the belly, tapping into that long, slow breath. We'll take 10 more breaths here. So if you want to make any adjustments, if you were in the full pose and you want a little bit more support, or maybe if you found a bit more space to maybe shift one of your props to the side, only if you have the space and it feels good. Settling in as we close our posture here on this side. Taking 3 more breaths here. And moving nice and slow. Maybe even using the hands to guide the legs back up to center. Coming to lie flat on your back again. Maybe gently pulling knees into chest, not all the way to a tight little ball. Just enough so the whole spine is nice and supported. If it feels good, maybe making some little tiny rocking movements from side to side. And then placing both feet on the mat. And this time we'll cross our left leg over our right. So we're going to fall over to the other side now, to our right side. So making sure shoulders feel nice and heavy on the mat and letting the knees fall over to the side. Seeing how this side of the body feels. Often one side of the body is a lot tighter or more open than the other side. So playing around with props. I think I'm going to keep the full cross, but just have a little prop underneath. In fact, no, I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to have a nice gentle twist to the side. Again, taking whatever pose feels good with the arms stretched out, grabbing elbows overhead if you want a little bit more of a stretch, and if your shoulders feel open enough. And settling in now for twisted roots on the other side. So remembering it might look like a very small movement, it might not look like an intense twist, but with restorative yoga, a little bit goes a long way. So we're not necessarily trying to get to 100% of where we could go. We're maybe aiming for 50%. Should be enough that you feel the stretch and you feel maybe a little bit of release in the area we're focusing on, but not so much that your body is tensing up to stop you from hurting yourself or feeling any pain. So if there's any pain, remembering to come out of the posture a little bit or completely, you can always come to your constructive rest pose. As long as you're focused on the breath, taking 10 more breaths on this side. So making any adjustments you'd like to, so you can finish on this side feeling comfortable. Maybe adjusting your clothes if you need to. Taking 3 more breaths. And slowly again coming up to center, so you can use your hands to help guide you. And once you're nice and centered on your mat, again, just putting knees into chest, just enough so that the whole back is supported. Maybe rocking gently from side to side if it feels good to massage the lower back. Keeping our long and slow breaths, breathing so that you feel the belly rise with every inhale, even if your hand isn't resting there. And bringing both feet back down to the mat. And then nice and slow, making our way up to all fours. You can roll over onto your side. And using your hands, just gently coming up to all fours. So making sure that you're not too close together with your hands and your knees. We're going to go into a few rounds of cat-cow. So if you're here, it's a little bit more difficult to let the belly drop than if you have a nice bit of spaciousness where you can really let the spine go to its full, or have more range of movement, not necessarily full range of movement. So placing hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees are about hip width apart, back is nice and straight for now, so you have a neutral spine, your gaze is just down and ahead of you slightly. And now as we inhale, dropping the belly, so thinking of arching the spine here. So your tailbone curling up, and letting your gaze and your chin come up and forward. And as you exhale, tucking the tailbone, rolling through the spine, letting the head hang heavy between the arms. Inhaling as we drop the belly, so feeling the skin of the front body maybe stretching slightly. Exhaling as we roll the other way. So letting the spine get some nice movement in both directions. Inhaling to drop the belly, maybe bending the elbows slightly if that helps you feel into the pose. Exhaling, using this contraction of this space to help you force that air out of the lungs, so emptying the lungs. Taking 3 more rounds now at your own pace, letting your eyes fall closed. Beautiful. So for our next posture, we'll go into pigeon, a nice passive pigeon pose. So we'll start on our left side. So just maybe walking your hands a little bit more forward on your mat and bringing your left knee in between your 2 hands. So the knee's going to be a little bit closer to the left hand. And then once you're here, just starting to inch back with your straightened leg until you come down into your pigeon pose. So remembering you can adjust the foot. The further the foot is out to the side, the more intense it is. So bringing it in just so that you can really have a nice supported base here. Again, you can always have some cushions nearby. To make this even more passive, we're going to come down onto the forearms. And if it feels like it's available, or as we move through the posture, just checking it out and seeing how it feels to maybe come down on top of folded hands. You can use your props as you need to. And coming into our sleeping pigeon on the left side, maybe checking in with the body as we begin to settle in, maybe just gently swaying hips from side to side, just feeling out the areas that might be feeling really tight, just so you can be aware and coming to stillness, starting to tap back into the breath, feeling the belly expanding against your bent leg here. So staying here, and maybe taking this posture as an opportunity to think of the breath almost as energy that you're breathing in. So you're breathing in fresh new energy and you're breathing out, and you're maybe breathing out things that don't serve you as much. You breathe in oxygen, you breathe out carbon dioxide. So thinking about that little stream of energy as you inhale, and using whatever sense of thinking, whatever thought process it feels like, that lets you feel like you're breathing that energy to the place that feels tight. So it might sound like some mumbo jumbo, but if that makes sense in any way, just thinking of breathing that energy to where it feels tight, and when you exhale, maybe taking any tension out of that area as you go. And if all of that's a little bit complicated or confusing, just focusing on the breath, so just inhaling and exhaling. So we'll stay here for another minute or so, making any adjustments you need to. If you feel your mind maybe getting distracted, thoughts coming up, just thinking of focusing on the inhale, feeling the air rushing into your nostrils, nice and cool and fresh. Exhaling, feeling that warm air as it passes out. So just coming back to that rhythm of inhaling and exhaling. You find the mind wandering. Taking 5 more breaths here. Maybe letting the eyes fall closed if they haven't already. Thinking of that stream of energy, every inhale and exhale. And slowly bringing hands underneath the shoulders, just pressing up, lifting the hips enough to just slide the left knee back, taking a moment in our all fours, maybe making some slow circles with the left knee, maybe gently looking over your right shoulder and kicking the hips up to the right, and then looking over to the left. So like a puppy trying to see its own tail. And then getting ready for sleeping pigeon on the other side. So maybe making a little space so we can set up. Now bringing the right knee between the hands, a little bit closer to the right hand. And slowly walking back with our left leg, the extended leg, until we come into pigeon pose, adjusting the foot. So bringing the foot closer into the groin if needed to help you get a little bit of more support. This is quite an intense stretch for the back of the legs, feeling that stretch all the way up into the glutes, maybe slightly into the lower back, as long as you don't feel any pain. So coming down onto our elbows, our forearms. And if it feels good, coming down onto the mat, so you can always stack your two fists. Have something to sort of rest your head on. Otherwise, pillows do just as well. Coming into pigeon on this side. Also remembering if you've got another pillow and you'd like a bit more support, you can just tuck that pillow underneath the bent leg. So this thing of bringing the ground up to meet us is a recurring theme for restorative yoga. It should feel, once you settle into the pose, that you don't have to exert effort. If the mind wanders, coming back to that rhythm of the breath, even if you're just repeating in your head, inhale, exhale. 10 more breaths on this side. So letting the eyes fall closed if they haven't already. Taking 5 more breaths here. One last breath. And slowly coming back up onto our forearms. And then onto our hands. Lifting up the hips just enough so you can slide the right knee in line with the left. Again, maybe making some gentle circles with the right knee. Maybe stepping the right foot back just to get a gentle stretch. And coming back to our all fours and just looking over our shoulders again. Like puppies trying to see our tail. Beautiful. Now we'll come to lie on our backs again. And just grabbing whatever you have for a bit of support. So if you have blocks or cushions or a bolster, we're going to come to lie flat on our back. First letting knees stay bent. And we're going to come into supported fish. So fish pose, I lied, we actually have to come back up. So you want to have support underneath, just underneath your heart center, so that space between your ribs. So if you think of where the shoulder blades, if you open your chest, the shoulder blades are trying to meet, that space you want to be supported. And also the back of the head, you want to have a little bit more support. So you can play around with the height here and see what feels good. The purpose of our fish pose is it's a nice gentle heart opener. So it can be a really small curve, even just like this. As long as you're not feeling any pain in the lower back, you can always build it up higher if you want something more intense. And I'd suggest going with something nice and soft, nice and gentle for today's practice. We're motivated by gratitude. We're not trying to reach any specific goal here. This is just a little bit of thanking the body. So starting with our knees bent, if your lower back feels okay here, you can always extend the feet long to the end of the mat. Let the arms fall open to your sides. So finding this gentle opening of the front of the body, of the neck, the muscles of the neck. If you'd like a little bit more and you want to add something to this posture, you can always bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together, and let the knees fall open so you're in a nice butterfly with your lower body. Again, making sure the lower back feels no pain, if there's any discomfort. Coming back to bent legs, or even coming back to constructive rest pose, so moving any props out of the way. Taking 10 more deep breaths here. Taking 3 more breaths. And moving nice and slow at your own pace, using the hands to bring knees back together if you were in butterfly. And then coming up onto your elbows, just enough so that you can get a bit of support for your forearms. And using your hands to come up to a nice seat. Keeping knees bent for now, and just letting your upper body rest on your thighs, letting your head rest on your knees here. On the legs, you can have the arms as a bit of a pillow. Just giving the spine a little bit of time to adjust. And slowly coming up. And moving into caterpillar pose. Yes. So you can have a bit of support underneath the knees. Having straight legs is a little bit more difficult. Just making sure you're sitting on your sitting bones, maybe moving the flesh of the bum out of the way if you need to. And from here, we're just going to fold forward over our legs. So letting the head be heavy. You're not in an active forward fold where you're trying to keep your spine straight and your head reaching forward. Just letting the spine curve, letting the head dangle. Might be quite an intense stretch, so feeling it all the way down the back of the head, down the back of the neck, all the way down to the lower back. So just make any adjustments. Again, you can always have a cushion here for a bit of extra support. Wherever you are, trying to find a position that feels there's a little bit of intensity, but it's not any pain. And you can hold it for a couple of minutes, so obviously feel free to make adjustments. But trying to really hold into the pose, so setting yourself up so that you can be nice and comfortable. And you can just let the hands rest by your side. You can rest on the legs, wherever feels comfortable. You can just gently hold on to your pillows like I am. Benefits of this posture aren't just stretching the muscles and the ligaments of the back body, but it's also literally giving a little bit of stretch and massage to the spinal cord itself, so in between the vertebrae. And it's almost like giving your brain a little massage, so lots of bang for your buck here. Taking 10 more breaths here. So if you're finding it uncomfortable, seeing if you can use the breath as something to anchor you so that you're not just, your brain isn't thinking, oh, I want to get out. Just giving the brain something to do, so thinking again, inhale, exhale. Taking 3 more breaths. And slowly rolling back up, letting the head be the last thing to come up. Whew. From here, we'll move to come back down onto our mat, onto our backs for the last time now. So shifting the props if you need to. And our last posture before Shavasana or corpse pose will just be a gentle supported bridge. So maybe grabbing 1 or 2 of your pillows if you feel like you have the space. I'm just using 1. Lifting up the hips just enough that you can slide the pillow underneath. And then coming back to rest on your support. So the idea is the support goes just underneath the base of your spine. So you don't want your back to be curving over the pillow. You want just your pelvis and the bum to be nice and supported here. Letting the knees fold together if that feels good. And taking a moment to check in with the spine. If supported bridge doesn't feel comfortable, remembering you can always come back to constructive rest pose, so shifting this out of the way. Maybe letting arms fall into a nice cactus position, getting a little bit of extra opening for the front body. Taking 5 more breaths here. And then moving nice and slow, lifting the hips up just enough so you can slide your support out of the way. Coming back to rest with the whole spine supported on the mat. Just taking a moment to hug knees into chest here. So you can keep your knees quite far away from the chest to keep the whole body, maybe the whole spine nice and supported. If you want to know a little bit more, you can hug knees closer in with the hands, maybe even wrapping the arms around the shins if it feels available. And you're rocking from side to side. And now bringing feet down to the mat, preparing for Shavasana. So testing it out, stretching the legs out long to the edge of the mat, letting the feet fall open, letting hands fall open to your sides. Seeing how the back feels here, you can always slide something underneath the knees for a bit of support, like we did in our caterpillar pose. You can give a little bit of support for the lower back, or come into our our constructive rest pose with knees bent. If you're feeling a little bit chilly, maybe grab a blanket, prepare for Shavasana, so keeping the body warm. Wherever you are, letting your eyes gently fall closed. Letting your breath come to its natural rhythm and depth. And keeping that focus on the breath, so before the mind wanders too far, coming back to that intention of just inhaling. As you inhale, maybe just quietly saying to yourself in your brain, exhale. As You let all that oxygen, but still air out of the lungs. Letting the whole body be supported by the mat. Feeling all the points of contact between your body and the mat, the back of the hands, back of the arms and shoulders, back of the head, shoulder blades, maybe a bit of the rib cage. Feeling the glutes nice and supported all the way down through the legs to the soles of your feet. Then coming into Shavasana, corpse pose, to close our practice. Slowly bringing your awareness back into your space. Maybe gently wiggling fingers and toes. Just rolling the head from side to side. Nice and gentle, nice small movement for the neck. Keeping your eyes closed if you can. Bringing knees up. And then rolling over onto whichever side feels comfortable. Using your arms a bit of a pillow. Just taking a moment to pause before we jump back into the rest of our evening. And still keeping eyes closed if it feels comfortable. Coming up to a nice comfortable seat. Taking your time getting there. Letting the hands rest on your knees. Inhaling to bring our arms up overhead. Not really reaching, just gently bringing palms together and then bringing hands down between the chest. So really letting your thumbs press into your heart center here, just on the breastbone. And taking a moment to remember your item of gratitude from the beginning of our practice, but also taking some gratitude for yourself, for carving out just a little bit of time to restore and rejuvenate the body, to bring a sense of peace and calm for mind, body, and soul, remembering the breath sometimes is all you need. All you need is that internal reminder to inhale and exhale. Thank you for joining me practice this evening. Namaste. All right, thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed that practice. You can feel free to reach out to me on the Pulse group if you have any questions on WhatsApp, or leave any comments below. Remember to drink lots of water this evening. And we'll see you